Okay, so everything seems to be working now with our live stream. Sorry if there was a little bit of a pause at the start of this video. So here we go. I'm just going to bring up the work for today. So today we are going to do some melodic dictation. So it's questions like this. So this is page 15 if you need to go to your textbook. And today we are going to work through these questions here. 1, 2 and 3. Well, remember, if you can just say hi in the chat window, it means I know you're here. And if you missed the video, so if you missed the Zoom meeting earlier, at least I can mark the roll off your attendance here on this video. So let's have a quick look at this first question here. Melodic dictation, adding solfa to a given rhythm. So I'll be playing a short melody to you on the piano, and your job will be to write the solfa under the rhythm. So here's our rhythm, and so under here you will be able to write the solfa, just using letters do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, like D, R, M, and so on, rather than the full word. I'm just going to find the book so I can tell you what the specifications are. So today we're doing a question that actually uses the full scale. So we're going to be using from do all the way up to high do. Although I must say that's actually in the second question we're using the full scale. We'll be going up to la. So correction, in this very first question we'll be doing just up to la. So this question will make use of do, re, mi, fa, so and la. Now you can see here that this question begins with an anacrusis, and when there's an anacrusis it's actually not uncommon for it to be on a different note to do. So an anacrusis can quite often start on re, sometimes they start on ti. But if that's the case, almost always then the next note, the first note of the first full bar will be do. I'll leave you to listen and just confirm that, but that's generally how it works. And also, questions generally finish on do. Again, I'll leave you to listen and just work that out for yourself, but there's a good hint there. I can tell you now, looking at this question, that most of the notes move by step. So either do to re, re to mi, mi to fa, or back down without jumping, except somewhere near the end. There will be a small jump near the end, so there's another hint. When I play this to you, I'll be playing on my piano, which I've got here. I've got a keyboard in the room that I pinched from school to borrow over the holidays, because my main piano's out in the back room. And this piano isn't quite as good as the one we use at school, but hopefully you can hear it clearly enough to do this question. So I'll play the question for you 5 times in this window, and then I'll jump over to the worksheet with my camera and I'll work it through for you so you can see the answer. So when I play this, it'll be 5 times. I'll quickly say the rhythm so you're familiar with what you're expecting, and then we'll jump straight into the question. So this question, its rhythm for question number 1, this one here that I'm highlighting with my mouse, its rhythm would be ti, ta, ta, ticka, ticka, ta, ti, 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 ta, ti. Of course, I'll be playing that on the piano using notes from do through to la. Here they are right now. Here's do, re, mi, fa, so, and la. So that's all we're using right now for this question. Just to answer the question we've had on the screen, it's page 15. We'll be starting on re. I'll now give you your first playing. I'm going to make it relatively slow for the first playing because this is our first time doing them virtually online, so I want to give you the best opportunity to hear the notes clearly. So this is, one last time reminding you, this question here, writing the solfa, that is do, re, mi, fa, so and la, underneath the notes as you hear them. 5 playings. Here is playing number 1. 1, 2, 1, 2. Hopefully you made note of what the note was that we landed on, and it may have been familiar to you. I'll play that again. Here's your second playing. 1, 2, 1, 2. Here we go with our third playing. A reminder that almost all of the notes are by step. When I say they're by step, it's also possible that the note could be repeated twice, as does occur somewhere around the middle. Here is your third of 5 playings. 1, 2, 1, 2. Here is your fourth of 5 playings. 1, 2, 3, and. Here is your fifth and final playing. 1, 2, 1, 2. I'm going to jump back to the camera now. So, here we are. So, I hope you found that question reasonably achievable. Very sorry that one of you found this a little boring. I did toy with the idea of maybe doing a picture-in-picture with a game of soccer match in the bottom of the corner of the screen so some of you could stay more entertained. But I haven't been able to work out how to do that yet. Nah, jokes. I won't be doing that. So, let's move over to the work in the book and see how it goes. So, I'm going to move my camera. And give it a second here. Better, that'll stay stuck down better while I'm using 2 hands. Okay, so here is our question. So I'm going to sing it to you one more time, just using my voice, and let's have a listen. Da 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 da. Da, 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 da. So you probably heard da, da, that it went down by a step. So re, do. I'm now going to sing from the start, just about halfway, I think. Da, 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 da. I'm hoping that you heard that it moves up. Re, do, re, and then we had some doubles. Mi, mi, fa, fa, so. So that's where we're up to so far. I'll give you a minute to check your answer and correct it if you need to. Re, do, re, mi, mi, fa, fa, so, da. You probably heard that that was the same. So, I'll go right from here now. Da, 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 da. I'll do that again. Da, 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 da. You probably heard that it went up and straight back down. So, la, so, and then fa. And then the remaining part. So, la, so, fa, da, da. Mi, and back to do. So there is our first question. If you'd like to take a few moments just to check off your question and make any corrections as required. We're going to have a sing-along now. Now, this is an easy sing-along to do because no one else can hear you, so there's no reason to be embarrassed with your voice because no one else in this class can hear you. It's a YouTube live channel, so no one's hearing you. Hopefully no one at home minds hearing you sing either. Let's have a go at singing this together as a class. Here we go. Here's the first pitch, re, 1, 2, 1. Re, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, so, fa, mi, do. I'm sure your singing was absolutely wonderful. Congratulations. Okay, I'm going to skip back to the textbook page now for a little bit. So, we're now going to have a go at this question here. This is one of those questions where the rhythm wasn't given to you in the textbook. So if you could just take a few moments now to write that in quickly into the space there. If you could also write the word done into the live chat so I can see that you've done it, I'll know you're ready for the next question. And while you're doing that, I'll give you a few moments to write that in and respond back on the live chat. Just a reminder, look, we will be doing some sort of a music test to assess you in this course based on the theory we've been learning in the textbook here. That'll be later in the term. We'll have to do it via Zoom so that you can have your cameras on so I can see it's you doing your work in the timed period. And what we'll have to do is, because it's a written test, we'll actually get them posted out to you in an envelope that you'll leave sealed until the actual test, and then we'll watch you all open them up on video, so I know that you've only seen the test for the first time when you do it. Of course, we'll do some revision and preparation. It's very similar to the CFAT that we did last term anyhow, so don't be stressed about it. It's a very achievable test. If you've been working hard, you'll be fine. As I've said, no one has failed Year 10 music for any reason other than not trying. It's a very achievable course if you do your best. You've got a great teacher, so of course you're going to do well, I hope. Okay, I think I've given you enough time to write that rhythm in, so we're going to work through this question now. This question does use the full scale from do up to do. In other words, we'll be having do, re, mi, fa, so, la, ti, and high do. It's a reasonably achievable question. Again, it's still a lot by step. The majority of melodic dictations do use a lot of steps. And that's because if you think about a melody you listen to, like in any music, musicians don't jump all over the place the whole time. Melodies would sound very disjointed if that was the case. Good melodies are constructed in a way that use a variety of steps and carefully chosen leaps. And so that's the same for this melody. There will be some little jumps. The jumps are generally limited, and this question I can tell you now to a third or a fourth at most. Still a lot of steps. Occasionally a note is repeated. Okay, I think I've given you enough time to get that melody, the rhythm written down into the melody. I can see most of you have written done in the live chat, so thank you very much. So similarly to last time, I'll play this question 5 times, and then we'll go over to the camera to show you the answer. So, here we go. 1, 2, 3. You probably noticed that question finished on quite a high note. I did say these questions generally finish on do, but I didn't specify which one. There's a hint. Here we go. I'll play this question a second time. 1, 2, 3. Here we go with a third of 5 playings. 1, 2, 3. Here's your 4th playing. 1, 2, 3. Here is your 5th and final playing. 1, 2, 3. Okay, I'll just jump back to my camera and get this up. So, here is our question that we were just working on. What I'll do is I'll sing it to you one more time. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. And many of you already probably picked that ends on a high do. I'm going to write that in and give that one to you now. To indicate that it's high do, we just do do but with an apostrophe. Okay, let's begin at the beginning and we'll break it down a bit. So da 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 da. Most of you probably heard that was just moving up the scale. Da 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 da. So it would be do, re, mi, fa, so. A little bit of blue tack has just been lost on the back of my worksheet, so it's slipping across my desk. Just give me a second to fix that up. Okay, that's better. I really should invest in a tripod for the camera so I can have 2 hands available. Okay, so do, re, mi, fa, so, da, da. That was so. That was this pitch. It's the same note. So, da. That's not by step, is it? Because if that was a step, it'd be so, fa. This is so, mi. So, from the start, do, re, mi, fa, so, so, mi, da, 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 da. What was that note? Da, so, mi, da, same pitch. So there it is. I'll take it back to this so here. So, mi, da, 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 up and down, so, la, ti, la, so. How many so's in a row? So, 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 do. And there is our question. I'll give you a few moments to write that down. If you've not got your answer incorrectly, please make corrections now. Okay, we'll have another class sing-along. So here is the first pitch. Do. Let's sing together. 1, 2, 3. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, so, mi, sol, la, ti, la, so, 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 do. Okay, so we welcome Sarah Beer to the channel. She's come to visit a Year 10 class, which is just terrific. It's going well, by the way, Sarah. Thanks for checking in. We'll see you in Year 12 class on Wednesday. Now, let's move back to what we're doing here in class. So, for the first time, we are going to attempt a melodic dictation on the stave. That is, you'll hear a melody, and it will be played to you, and then we will write it down on the stave using notes. Now, you might be wondering, how are we going to do this? Well, it's actually not too hard. First things first, I'm going to let you know how many notes we're expecting. We are going to expect 8 notes, including the one given. And they are all going to be semi-breves, that is 4-count notes. So what I recommend you do is actually write 8 lines as you go along. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Those are the lines that we can then write the solfa to the melody down. Now, some hints. How do we start solfa in a question like this? We need to have a look and see what's the first note. We know that note is an F. If you've forgotten the spaces, spell the word face. That's an F, and we also know from prior learning that F major needs a B flat, and the flat is on the B line. So we can be certain that this question is in F major, so therefore F is do. Cool. I will now play this melody to you on the piano, and I'll play it to you 5 times, like normal. And on each line, as you hear the note, please try your best to write the solfa in. We'll then come back later and do the notation on the stave after the 5 playings. So what I'll do is I'll just jump back to the textbook view so I can put my camera down. So here we are. This is the question here at the bottom of page 15. So the starting note in this question will be F. It will be based around the F major scale, so that scale is F, G, A, B flat, C, D, E, and F. And that will be therefore in solfa. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. That's got a little bit high for me, but I'll try my best with my voice anyhow. So, as I mentioned just before, this question will have 8 notes. All of them will be semi-breves, so it's fairly slow rhythmically. Try your best to label the solfa down now. If I've gone a little bit too quickly, you're always welcome to come back and watch this video after the lesson, as it will be immediately saved to the YouTube channel for viewing again. So, here is this question. I'll start. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll play that question again. Second of 5 playings. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here's your third of 5 playings. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here's your fourth of 5 playings. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here is our fifth and final playing. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I'll jump back to the camera and take you through the answer to this final question for today's lesson. So, we saw that this question starts with Do, and the melody went Do, Do, So, let's have a listen to it again and get some of the answer going. Da, 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 da. We heard that the notes just went up by a step for the first 4. So, do, re, mi, fa. From there it went, so, fa. So I'll get that right, I think I had that. Do, re, mi, fa. Sorry, I did have it correct, my apologies. Fa. Da, down a step. Da, 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 da. So, it jumped a bit there, didn't it? Da, 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 da. Mi, so, da, da. How did I know that? Da, da, mi, fa, so. I can count the gap. Mi, so, da, up by a step. And then we heard the last note was this one, which happens to be an octave higher than the tonic. Like so. That question is really quite high for my voice. My apologies if it sounded a bit dodgy. So, what do we do now? To turn this into notation, we just need to know the intervals between each of these notes. So, for example, do to re is a step. So, a step up from F is the next line. G. Do, re, mi. Well, again, re to mi is 1 note higher. So again, I go 1 pitch higher on the stave. So we always go space, line, space to go up by steps. The next note is fa. So mi, fa is a step. So in we go. B flat because of the key signature. Mi to fa. Oh, down 1 note. We also know mi from here. We already had it written in. So there's mi. Mi to so. So is a third up from mi. It's also a step higher than fa, which we had there. So if we know fa is B flat in this case, so is 1 note higher, C. So to la, la is 1 note higher again from so we go up by a step. And finally, high do. High do, well do is F, so high do is the F up higher. So every good boy deserves fruit if you don't know your notes. That's the way you can work it out. There is F. La to do is also a third, and we can see that that is a third apart. Sorry, I just missed that with the camera for a second. So there is our question. Let's try and have a sing-along together. It might be a little bit high for some of the gentlemen in the class, but we'll give it our best shot anyway. So here is the first pitch. Do. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Do, re, mi, fa, mi, so. I'm just going to have the questions we've done today in the view of the camera before I end this stream. So if you need to check your work against this, you can. This work needs to be photographed and submitted as a part of your learning task for today in the week 2 online submission, along with links to your musictheory.net tasks that I'll set every class. So there are 3 musictheory.net tasks set every lesson, so a total of 9 links should be appearing in the conversation section of the learning task for me to check. I'll farewell you all now from the live stream. We'll jump back into Zoom now.